Welcome into the Commanders Report live show. I am your host, Jack Sperry, and over the next hour or so, we got a bunch of great Commanders content coming your way. A big shout out to all the real ones that are tuning in at the beginning of today's program. We got a bunch of great stuff coming your way here, guys. We're going to start with the latest news and rumors surrounding the Washington Commanders. We'll also have some 2024 trade candidates. I got 6 Commanders players that I think could be traded before the NFL trade deadline this year. I'll let you guys know those 6 players. Then we got the live Commanders Report mailbag where you guys have the opportunity to get your questions on the show. If you got anything to discuss with me, you got any questions you want me to answer right here on the show, this is your opportunity to have your voice heard right here on the Commanders Report. So if you want to get a question on today's show, guys, use hashtag Commanders or Super Chat down there in the live chat right now. And you got to put it next to the question, right? Because use hashtag Commanders so producer Joey can see your question. So, for example, you go down there in the live chat, you go hashtag Commanders, will Jaden Daniels win Offensive Rookie of the Year? And if you do that, Joey's going to find that question, and he's going to put it on the mailbag 100% free. And then if you donate, via Super Chat here, and you have a question on that Super Chat, we'll make sure that's guaranteed to get on the mailbag. So thank you guys so much for all of your support. Make sure you guys get your questions down there for today's mailbag. And with that, let's bring in our producer today, Joey Peterson. How you doing today, my friend?
What's going on? Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy to be here. Man, it's just awesome knowing every single Wednesday, 4 o'clock Central, 5 Eastern, we're all hanging out. Couldn't be more happy.
Yeah, man, it's nice to be here after a win. The Commanders get the win over the New York Giants. It was closer than maybe you would want it. There's lots of red zone penalties, lots of field goals. At least you got the kicker situation figured out. Austin Seibert, NFC Special Teams Player of the Week this week. So it's nice to know that kicker situation's figured out. But, losing or winning by 3 points to that football team and the New York Football Giants at home, I mean, a little bit cause for concern, I'd say, but you got an interesting matchup on Monday Night Football against the Bengals coming up.
Yeah, 100%. And at the end of the day, a win's a win. And a lot of time with rookie quarterbacks, it's just about getting the win no matter how it looks. Would you have liked to score a touchdown? Yes. But it looks like that kicker situation solved, and now Monday night against Burrow and Burrowhead,
Burrowhead.
It's going to be a lot of fun, man.
They were in Burrowhead last weekend and lost again. I don't know if we can call it Burrowhead anymore. They've lost a couple times there. All right, before we get into the content today, I do want to give a big shout out to both of our live sponsors today, starting with Factor Meals. Now that football season is back, sometimes you just want something quick so you can enjoy the games that day. And what if you don't want something super unhealthy? Well, you can fuel up your game day experience this year with Factor's no prep, no mess meals with their menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and even Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are this football season, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore. Make your day delicious from breakfast to dessert and stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. So head on over to factormeals.com/CommandersChat50 and use code CommandersChat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month as well. That's code CommandersChat50 at factormeals.com/CommandersChat50. It's right down there on the bottom of your screen right now to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is still active. And now let's have word from our sponsor here at Gametime, which is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. And folks, we all know that experiencing a sporting event, especially a football game live, is unlike anything you can get from watching the game on your couch. Gametime Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. What I love about using the Gametime app is you get the lowest price guaranteed on any ticket to any event, all-in pricing so you don't get slapped with crazy fees at checkout, and flash deals so you can get even cheaper tickets the closer you wait to game time. And then if you use Gametime Picks, guys, what that allows you to do is it puts you go to an event that you want to go to, you select Gametime Picks on that event, and what it does is it puts all the tickets to that event in their database into a special filter and a special algorithm to show you the best deals on all the best tickets that they have on their platform. So you don't even have to go research on a bunch of different ticketing apps. You don't even have to do much of the research on Gametime itself. They make it super easy for you guys. They got all these great features. And oh yeah, every ticket on this platform is the lowest price guaranteed. So you can rest easy. You're going to be paying the lowest price with our friends at Gametime. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime today. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code ChatSports. It's one word, all caps, ChatSports. It's down there in the bottom of your screen right now for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code ChatSports for $20 off. Download Gametime today. What time is it? It's game time. So we're going to do something a little fun today, Joey. So we're switching up the donation menu. You know, any super chat is going to get love from us, all right? If you're spending any of your hard-earned money on this channel, we're going to give you some love. We're going to put you on screen. We're going to show you, the appreciation here that you guys deserve. The candy toss here with $5 super chats and donations. We'll get to that here in a second. And then $20, either I can slap Joey with a tortilla or Joey can slap me with a tortilla. So if you want to get those tortilla slaps going, $20 super chat donations today, and then $50 total gets you into Hog Mafia, which we'll talk about here in just a second as well. So our new promotion today that we're trying out here on the Commander's Report. Every $5 donation that comes in, I'll attempt to shoot a piece of candy into Joey's mouth. So we are currently in Studio B here at Chat Sports Studios in Dallas, Texas, and this is a little bit of a ways here, all right? So I got Reese's Pieces. Okay, I've got the box right here. Today's candy is going to be Reese's Pieces. Got the little candies. And if you guys send in a $5 super chat, okay, what I'll do is I will attempt to shoot this candy into Joey's mouth, and if I miss, then we have punishments, okay? So if we miss one shot, for every miss, Joey and I have to take a shot, okay? 3 misses, there needs to be a beer bong drunk by either me or Joey. And then every 5 misses, we have to do a boot, which is a huge glass boot. If you guys haven't seen these giant boots, it fills up 3 beers worth, 3 cans worth of liquid. So if we miss 5 times today, somebody's got to be drinking a boot. So if you guys want to get this going, have a little bit of fun, Joey and I were practicing a little bit today. We're getting a little bit of a rhythm here. But if you guys want to challenge us today, $5 donations, every $5, we'll attempt to do this. So if you guys like this, we'll keep doing it. If you guys don't like it, we'll shut it down. But I appreciate all of your guys' support. So if you like this idea, you want to keep it going, make sure you get those $5 donations in today. And if you want to join Commander's Report Hog Mafia and become part of the royalty here at the Commander's Report, every single super chat donation or Venmo that you bring in, you guys get a donation sticker with the little piggy bank on there, and then also you get a shout out on every single live show. So I want to give a shout out to all of our current Hog Mafia members: IQ Barbecue, Marco Gorman, Omar's Burner, Lord Buddy Bear, Luke O'Gorman, TJ, Commando Mike, James Howard, and Russell Hance, who we do not have on the graphic right now, but we are working on that as we speak. Okay, man, so we do have our first $5 donation coming in already. Already the first candy toss of the day. Are they pulling, producer Joey?
They are not.
So our super chats are not pulling right now. So we will get this up momentarily. But Buddy Bear wants us to do the candy shot right now. So
bring it on, baby.
So are you building this right now?
Do you want me to build it first?
Yeah, build this one first, okay. Then we'll do the shot. So we'll get into the first segment here momentarily. Again, $5. That's it. Just a $5 super chat, Venmo or Cashapp. We'll try to shoot this candy into Joey's mouth. Every time we miss, we have to do a shot. So I appreciate your guys' support. We will get to the latest news and rumors surrounding the Washington Commanders here in just 1 second. Apologies for the delay, guys. Our super chats are not pulling right now. So Joey needs to build this real quick, and we'll get it on screen momentarily. We got Cassie Voth in the chat. We got Goatku Edits. We got Sage Costello. We got Eugene in here, who says Noah Brown looked promising at receiver. He really did, man. I thought he had some really nice catches against the Giants. I thought Jaden Daniels did a really good job finding him in those intermediate crossing routes that they had. It was all that great stuff, man. So I'm excited to see what Noah Brown's going to do. It looks like he's going to be the number 2 receiver for the Washington Commanders this year. You got to get Terry McLaurin McLaurin going, man. These first 2 weeks, though, he's had 8 catches, which isn't necessarily terrible, but like it's less than 40 yards. Like you got to get him going. You got to get him the ball down the field. And you got to get a rhythm between Jaden Daniels and his number 1 receiving target this year, especially if Terry wants to get paid next offseason, right? Next year, it's the last year of his deal, and usually that's when receivers want another contract. So if Scary Terry wants to get that new contract with the Washington Commanders, he's got to earn it this season, or else he's going to be playing on a 1-year deal next year. Or, this is something that I think a lot of Commanders fans don't want to happen. He might get traded next offseason, but we're not going to think about that right now. Hopefully, Scary Terry's here for a very, very long time. $5 super chat from Lord Buddy Bear says, okay, do a candy shot. All right.
Let's freaking go.
So Joey and I were practicing this a little bit to start the show, or before the show started. And we were in a kind of a rhythm here, but the pressure's on now because if we miss, we have to do shots. All right.
I'm going headphones off for this.
So I've got the orange color right here. All right. Pressure's on. You ready, Joey?
I'm ready.
Joey the Mouth Peterson over here. All right. Hey! Joey caught it. Let's go. Let's go, Joey. Everybody spam Joey. 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 Oh, man, that's a lot of fun, man. No shot for me or Joey. Count is still at 0 misses. So if you guys want us to take a shot, and you guys want another candy toss, $5 super chat or Venmo donation. Greatly appreciate your guys' support. Okay, let's get into our first segment today. Latest news and rumors surrounding the Washington Commanders. Got a lot of fun stuff to discuss on today's show. Joey, how we doing there? He needs a minute here, so we'll give Joey just a little minute. I'll give some shout-outs to anybody spamming Joey in the chat. We got Billy Everett. We got Sage. We got Goku Edits. We've got Ricken. We got Wendell Morris. We got Cassie and my girlfriend's in the chat. Make sure you guys give some love to Cassie. She's here every single week. Okay, Joey says we're good. So let's get into the first segment, the latest news and rumors surrounding the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders just got bad news as they are preparing for their Week 3 matchup on Monday Night Football versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome into the Commanders Report. I am your host, Jack Sperry. And today, in just a second here, I'm going to tell you what that bad news is. But before we get into that, make sure you guys click that thumbs up icon if you want the Washington Commanders to beat the Bengals. Beat the Bengals, real ones know, and on Monday Night Football. Obviously, the Bengals are 0-2 right now. The Commanders are 1-1. If the Commanders can win this football game and go to 2-1 and put the Bengals in their place at 0-3, not only will that put the Cincinnati Bengals in the basement, really put their season in jeopardy, but the Commanders, they're going to be off to a good start. So make sure you click that thumbs up icon. Don't jinx it. Help the Commanders win and like today's video. So the bad news heading into the week is it does look like T. Higgins, the number 2 receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals offense, is going to play this week. He has been dealing with a hamstring issue that has kept him out the first 2 weeks. It's really hampered the Cincinnati Bengals offense. But according to Bengals head coach Zach Taylor, he says that he believes wide receiver T. Higgins is moving in a quote-unquote positive direction, and the extra day this week will help as the team gets ready for Washington on Monday Night Football. Now, it's not a done deal. Obviously, we still have to get official word that Higgins is going to be good to go, but it definitely seems like Zach Taylor, the Bengals head coach, feels optimistic about Higgins' status heading into this Monday Night Football matchup. And the reason why that's an issue for the Washington Commanders is because they just don't have the talent. They don't have the horses in the secondary at the cornerback position to reliably cover both Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. We know that Emmanuel Forbes just had thumb surgery. He will not be playing. All right, and when he has been on the field, he hasn't looked good. Benjamin St-Juste, I thought, looked pretty darn good last week against the New York Giants. Mike Sainristil, very talented. I believe in his future, but he's had a kind of rough couple of weeks. Then Michael Davis and Noah Igbinoghene, I mean, come on now. Like, seriously, those are your reserves. And then, one of those guys is going to have to start this week against this really, really dynamic wide receiver duo of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And, of course, you got Joe Burrow throwing them the football. So the Commanders might be in big, big trouble here if that number 2 cornerback can't hold up against one of the best number 2 receivers in the National Football League. And what this also means is you can't just double team Jamar Chase all the time because you're leaving, T. Higgins on your number 2 cornerback, one-on-one on the other side. And, we know how dynamic of a threat number 5 in orange can be. All right. So that definitely, if he plays on Sunday, that's going to be a big time hit for the Washington Commanders and their chances of pulling off the upset in this one. I think this significantly increases the chances the Bengals are going to have really a big time day offensively, and that's going to ratchet up the pressure on Jaden Daniels and the Commanders offense to score a lot of points to keep up with them and kind of win a shootout on the road against a very desperate Bengals team that really, really is desperate to win this football game against the Washington Commanders. So let me know down there in the comments section, what is the percent chance of a Washington Commanders victory if T. Higgins plays on Monday night? Put it on a scale of 0, meaning no chance they win, to 100, meaning definitely going to win. For me personally, I'll probably give them, I don't know, man. This might seem low, but a 15% chance of winning just because, I think it's going to be so hard to guard Jamar Chase and T. Higgins with the cornerbacks that you have. And then you put on top of that the fact that the Commanders' pass rush just hasn't been that good this year. For me personally, I'd probably put it at about a 15, but this will be the pinned comment on today's show. So YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. And while that ad plays, find that pinned comment at the top of the comment section and put this on a scale of 0 to 100. So coming up here on the Commanders Report, I'm going to break down whether I think it would be a good idea for the Washington Commanders to go out and get edge rusher Haason Reddick to bolster this Commanders pass rush for years to come. But before I get into that, let's have a word from our sponsor here at Factor Meals. And now that football season is officially back, sometimes you just want something quick so you can just enjoy the games at home that day, whether it be a Saturday or a Sunday. But what if you don't want something super unhealthy? Well, then you can grab a Factor meal and you can fuel your game day experience this year with Factor's no prep, no mess meals with their menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and even Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are this football season, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart a brand new healthy routine in your life. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore with Factor. Make your day delicious from breakfast to dessert and stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. Head on over to factormeals.com/CommandersChat50 and use code CommandersChat50. It's right down there in the bottom of your screen right now to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month as well. That's code CommandersChat50 at factormeals.com/CommandersChat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is still active. A big shout out to Factor Meals for sponsoring today's edition of the Commanders Report. So now let's discuss the idea of potentially going out and getting Haason Reddick, who just 2 seasons ago was an all-pro caliber edge rusher for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's been a Pro Bowler the last 2 years. Now, obviously, the New York Jets, they traded for him. They didn't have a deal in place when the trade went through, and now they're in a completely combustible situation where it looks like Haason, under no circumstances, will play without a new deal, and the Jets are not going to give him what he wants. He is a little bit older, 29 years old. He's been in the league for a while. He's 6'1", 230. And I can tell you guys this right now. I think Haason Reddick, who played for the Philadelphia Eagles over the last couple of seasons, would absolutely love to play that team twice a year in this Dan Quinn defense. Take a look at what Haason has been able to do over the last several seasons here, and you look at that sack production. And we know, all right, through the first 2 weeks, the Commanders have not been a very good pass rush. They could use a guy like Haason Reddick, who is an elite pass rusher. He is a little bit older, so maybe a rebuilding team like the Commanders, maybe not so interested, but man, this guy's an impact player. And right now, his trade value has never been lower because of his behavior with the New York Jets this offseason. And really, man, Haason Reddick fits the mold of that quote-unquote Micah Parsons role that, you know, they don't really have here in Washington, that they can't really utilize in this Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. scheme. I thought for a while maybe Frankie Louvu or Bobby Wagner would fit into that role, but neither of those guys are really fitting into that particular role at this point. We can just skip to the next graphic, Joey. That's not what I want right there. But, you know, you look at Haason Reddick and what he brings to the table and what he would bring to the table to the Washington Commanders. It is a top-flight edge rusher for this football team, and we know that this team could certainly use that. After the first 2 weeks, you go up against Tampa Bay and the New York Giants, two teams with maybe not the best offensive lines in the world, especially in the middle on the interior, and you only have 2 sacks through week 2, and both of those sacks are to Cleveland Ferrell, the big signing. Dorrance Armstrong this offseason, 0 sacks. Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne, the duo that you're paying over $160 million over 4 years to, 0 sacks, all right? So Haason Reddick, what he would do is that he would bring a top-flight edge rusher and almost a guaranteed 10 sacks per season to the Washington Commanders. That is if he's in game shape and ready to play right now. And, you know, another thing that I'll say here about Mr. Haason Reddick is that his trade value has taken a hit. It really has because of the way that he has handled his whole contract situation this offseason, demanding to be paid a certain amount of money that neither the Philadelphia Eagles or the New York Jets have been willing to pay at this point. I do think that you can get him for a relatively reasonable price, especially for somebody that was an all-pro just 2 seasons ago and has been a Pro Bowler the last 2 seasons. So let's take a look at my proposed Haason Reddick trade idea. I don't think the Commanders want to just give away a draft pick. I think if they give away a draft pick, they're going to want another one in return in a pick swap because they just want to keep as many draft picks as possible because they are a rebuilding team. So I would say get Haason Reddick and a 5th-round pick in 2025 and then swap that for a 4th-round pick in 2025. You still have multiple picks in the first 2 days of the draft. You're not giving up a day 2 pick in exchange for Haason. This is a day 3 pick for somebody that could be a game changer for years to come on this defense and is a perfect fit for Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr.'s defense here in Washington. Plus, he gets to play his former team in the Philadelphia Eagles twice a year, which I know for a fact he would love to do. However, the downside to getting a guy like Haason is that you got to pay the man, and you do run the risk of the behavior issues and him just quitting on the team and not showing up and all these different things. And he definitely wants to get paid among probably the top 5 highest paid edge rushers in football. So you got to pay him at least $25 million per year if you pull the trigger on this trade. If you don't want to do that for an aging edge rusher, I completely understand that. So let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Would you accept this trade for Haason Reddick, or are you good with what the Commanders already have? Type A if you'd accept it, or type D if you're going to decline it. Can't wait to see what you guys have to say about this potential trade for the Burgundy and Gold. Now, before I go, I do have one more item to discuss here on the Commanders Report, and it's to give some congratulations to the new Commanders kicker, Austin Seibert, who, of course, made 7 field goals. He was the only one that scored points for the Washington Commanders last week against the New York Giants, and he was rewarded for that with NFC Special Teams Player of the Week honors. So everybody, clap it up for Austin Seibert right now for me, man. This is just awesome that the Commanders actually found somebody on the open market that's capable of winning this award, winning or hitting 7 field goals. You know, is he the best kicker in the world? Maybe not, but he's definitely more reliable than Joey Sly was last year, than Brandon McManus probably was going to be this year, and then also, you know, Cade York, who they traded for and ended up releasing. All the options that they have brought in here over the last several years, it definitely seems like Seibert is the guy, so it's nice to see that the Commanders finally figured out this issue. So spam those 3s down there in the comments section to celebrate having a legit kicker now. Of course, Seibert's wearing number 3 here in Washington, so spam those 3s to show your appreciation for the new kicker in the nation's capital. All right, that's going to be it for today's show, guys. I appreciate all of your support. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button for more extensive, in-depth Commanders coverage for free here on YouTube every single day. All right, so we got first segment out of the way. We still got the mailbag coming up. So if you guys want to get your question on today's show, make sure you guys use hashtag Commanders down there in the chat. along with your question, or you guys can super chat. So listen, man, you guys can guarantee to get your question on the show with a $5 super chat. And since it's a $5 super chat, we can do another candy toss today.
I would love to. I'm 100% right now.
I think that the candy toss is a lot of fun. So if you agree with us, you guys want to donate to the show, every single dollar goes towards making or goes towards our graphics packages, our office space, our equipment, all the stuff that we put into to give you guys free content here on the channel. That's where all of your donations dollar go to. So I really do appreciate your guys' support. If you guys want to send in something, that'd be great. If not, no big deal though. Okay, man. So we might, I guess we'll see if the super chats begin pulling, because if they're not, we're going to have a little bit of an issue here with the mailbag. But I'll make sure you guys get your questions in just in case we do that mailbag. But we still got another segment coming your way here. Don't you guys worry. We got trade candidates for the Washington Commanders to get to here. I got 6 players on the Commanders roster that I think may or may not get traded before the trade deadline. I'll break it down in detail here. So, Joey, if you're ready, I'm ready.
Let's get it, baby.
All right, let's get it going right now. Latest trade candidates for the Washington Commanders are coming at you right now. Welcome into the Commanders Report. I am your host, Jack Sperry, and today on the show, I'm going to be breaking down some trade candidates for the Washington Commanders here in 2024. 6 players currently on the Commanders roster that I think could be traded before the NFL trade deadline hits this season. Before I get into the nitty-gritty today, predict it for me down there in the comments section. Will the Commanders be buyers or sellers at the deadline? Will they be successful enough to maybe try to add a piece, or are they going to try to unload some assets to get some draft capital? Type B if you think they're going to be buying, or type S if you think they're going to be selling. So let's start with the big one here, literally the big one. Jonathan Allen, the defensive tackle that this team locked up to a long-term contract a couple seasons back. And, he's been kind of flirting with the idea of asking for a trade over the last several seasons. He's tired of the Commanders' lack of winning seasons here. I don't think in his entire tenure here in Washington, the Commanders have had a double-digit win season. And he's been somebody that's been very productive. He is still kind of towards the end of his prime, and he wants to contribute to a winning culture and try to win a Super Bowl here in his career while he can still be a big-time contributor. You take a look at the stats here over the last 4 seasons. Obviously, the 2-game sample so far this season isn't fantastic, but he's been a very, very good player, man. Very disruptive interior player over the last several seasons, and I know there's a lot of teams around the National Football League that would love to pick him up. And through 2 games this year, I have been disappointed with Jonathan Allen and his production, all right? Just 4 tackles, 5 pressures, 3 hurries with 2 QB hits, and 0 sacks. I expect more out of Jonathan Allen. I really do. I mean, that 58.2 PFF grade that he's had through the first 2 weeks is the lowest of his career. If that would have been for a full season, the pass rush grade isn't a whole lot higher. Right now, he's ranking around the 55th best defensive tackle in football. So listen, man, when you're paying a guy as much as you're paying Jonathan Allen, especially on a rebuilding roster, I mean, right now you're paying him over $20 million per season in terms of his cap hit, and that's a big hit for somebody that's not generating much pressure right now. He's not doing a particularly great job as a run defender either. So the big question is Jonathan Allen really worth the money the Commanders are paying him? And if he doesn't really turn it up here by the trade deadline, does it make sense to go out and trade him? Because I do think a team that is in need of a defensive tackle, maybe like the Houston Texans or something like that, a team that could really use a guy like Jonathan Allen in their pursuit of a championship this year, I think they'd be willing to give up a day 2 draft pick, as high as a 2nd-round draft pick for a guy like Jonathan Allen that can be disruptive. He has been throughout his career. But if he continues to put up the numbers he's putting up now, maybe it's more like a 3rd-round pick, if I'm being honest with you. If the Commanders aren't winning games, that actually wouldn't surprise me if eventually Allen decides to ask for a trade. So, if this season begins to unfold and it begins to kind of devolve and spiral downwards, really wouldn't surprise me at all if Jonathan Allen ends up getting traded. So what do you guys think? Down there in the comments section, would you trade Jonathan Allen for a 2nd-rounder? Give me a yes or a no for today's pinned comment. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by giving me a yes or a no. Okay, now let's get into my second trade candidate here, Derek Forrest. And I'm a big fan of Derek Forrest, man. I really am. I think he's a playmaker when he's out there, especially when he was out there in the Ron Rivera era. I thought he was one of the biggest playmakers on this defense, and a big-time contributor on a really, really cheap contract. But it definitely seems like Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. are phasing him out. They're playing Quan Martin and Jeremy Chin a whole lot more. And like I said, if the Commanders are sellers at the deadline, I think that there are teams out there that could really use an affordable safety that's a playmaker and is and has some experience in the National Football League as a starter as well. So that's where I'm kind of at with Derek Forrest. I wish him the best. Obviously, he's going to be here with the Washington Commanders at least through the first portion of the season. But if there's a team out there that wants a free safety with experience, you can absolutely get that done. And I do think that he's somebody that can contribute to a winning culture in the National Football League somewhere. Probably gets around a day 3 pick. Then we get to our friends here at Gametime here before we get into the rest of our trade candidates today. Gametime is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for the sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. And folks, we all know that experiencing a sporting event, especially a football game live, is unlike anything you can get from watching the game on your couch. Gametime Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. You just search up an event you want to go to, whether it's a football game, baseball game, or even something outside of sports, like a concert or a music festival or a comedy show. Go to that event, you select Gametime Picks filter, and then Gametime Picks is going to put every single ticket in that event in a special filter using AI and all these different things to show you the best deals on their platform. It's absolutely fantastic. It takes the need out of doing a bunch of research yourself. And the other great thing about Gametime is you get the lowest price guarantee on any ticket to any event, all-in pricing, so you don't get slapped with crazy fees at checkout, and then flash deals so you can get even cheaper tickets the closer you wait to the start of the event. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime today. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS, one word, all caps, CHATSPORTS. It's right down there in the bottom of your screen right now for $20 off that first purchase. Download Gametime today. What time is it? Gametime. Another player that is kind of getting phased out, in my opinion, here in Washington is Jamin Davis. He played a lot in the preseason. They're kind of trying to move him over to like defensive end. And, you know, I think that he's actually done a pretty good job, but he's not playing a whole lot right now. He's kind of a backup, kind of a rotational piece. And I do think if Adam Peters got the right price for Jamin Davis, say like a 4th or a 5th round pick, maybe even a 6th round pick, I think that the Commanders would probably take it. I don't think that they particularly love his skill set and his fit in this defense, unfortunately. You know, I wish they'd give him more of a chance here, but I'm not at practice. I'm not doing all these things. I'm not the coach. I'm not a part of the coaching staff, but, you know, it definitely seems like they're phasing him out at this point, which stinks for Jamin. But it's going to be interesting to see if there's anybody that's interested in adding a guy like Davis, who is very athletic and very promising still in his young NFL career. And then let's get to the receivers here. And let's do them all at the same time. I could see Olamide Zaccheaus, Noah Brown, and Dyami Brown all getting traded. Now, I do think Noah Brown's less likely. I will say that right now because you just picked him up, and he did look pretty darn good in that first game that he played of the season against the Giants in Week 2. So maybe the Commanders are like, you know, we feel good about Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown, and, you know, Zaccheaus and Brown are the two more likely names on this list, talking about Dyami Brown. But keep your eye on the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay, because they are in desperate need of a number 2 receiver. They're kind of hoping that rookie out of Michigan, Roman Wilson, who comes back from an injury this week, is going to be able to step in for their number 2 receiver spot. Van Jefferson and Calvin Austin III just haven't gotten the job done in Pittsburgh. So listen, Olamide Zaccheaus is somebody that played under Arthur Smith, their new OC in Atlanta. You know, Arthur Smith has his guys. Zaccheaus is definitely one of those guys. But Noah Brown is also a very good fit for what Pittsburgh wants to do, kind of a bigger run-blocking type wide receiver. So if the Commanders get to the point at the trade deadline where they're not really winning games and you can get a 5th-round pick for either Olamide Zaccheaus or Noah Brown, I think that Adam Peters would probably take that and continue to build up the amount of draft capital that this Commanders team has heading into the 2025 offseason. So let me know down there in the comments section, would you trade Olamide Zaccheaus to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a 5th-round pick? Would you accept this trade? Give me an A for accept or type D for decline. Let me know what you guys are thinking down there in the comments section. If I am Adam Peters and the Steelers offer me a 5th-round pick for Alameda Zacchaeus, I am taking it every day of the week. So if you're a real one and made it to the end of the show, I greatly appreciate your support, and I want you to identify yourselves. Down there in the comments section, type real one in the comments if you made it to the end of today's program. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button already, because if you're a real one, you made it to the end of the show, we're going to have another video like this, just like this tomorrow. So if you like what you heard today or not subscribed to the channel, help us get to 20,000 subscribers right now and join the Commanders Report family. All right, Joey, so are we still not pulling comments here? Because if we're not, we're just gonna call it a day here.
Still not pulling.
Okay, so they're still not pulling. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put a social post out there on the homepage of this channel after today's show, and we're gonna do a mailbag tomorrow. Okay, so we're gonna do a video tomorrow. Doing a mailbag for getting your questions done, because right now our software is not pulling the comments. So we'll put a 2-minute shot clock on for any super chats or donations or anything like that. And then, we're going to call it a day here. We did get 2 nice segments in today, Joey, and we will be back on Monday night for our watch party. So if you guys want to join us and hang out for an hour of pregame, live play-by-play, and then extensive postgame coverage, we're going to be right here on Monday night.
I think we bring the candy shots back on Monday night, too. That was a like.
Yeah, I think we're going to do the candy shots on Monday Night Football for sure.
Hey, before we go, though, let's get to 100 likes. We're at 250 watching, 87 likes. We're 13.
I tell you what, if we get to 100 likes, we will do another candy shot. Yep. All right, so we'll do another candy shot if we get to 100 likes here. Got 250 people watching. If we could just get 12 more people. Well, I don't even. SNXZY69 says, "Let me ask 2 with a $2 super chat." I don't know what he means. Is he asking 2 questions?
Maybe he wants to ask 2 questions.
Unfortunately, we're not going to do the mailbag today. Our software's not pulling these comments, so we're going to do the mailbag tomorrow, and we'll get your guys' questions on a social post. So we'll make sure to get this done for you guys. But today does not seem like it's going to happen. We're 4 likes away, all right? I've already got the next Reese's Pieces ready to go for Joey here. All right, so make sure you click that thumbs up icon. Finish up the live show today with a bang.
1 like away.
Let's bang.
There we go.
Let's bang this thing in Joey's mouth. Pause. All right. Here we go.
Joey the Mouth Peterson.
Joey the Mouth Peterson has already caught one today. If we miss this, we both have to take a shot to finish today's show. And by the way, if you guys keep sending in the 5s, we'll stay live. All right. So if you keep sending 5, we'll stay live. All right. So appreciate Lord Buddy Bear that put in a 5. Appreciate NX or SNXZY sending in a 2.
Sneaksy.
Sneaksy. Okay, I like that. All right, here we go. You ready?
Yep.
All right. It's up. And it's good! Let's go! Everybody spam Joey in the chat. Joey. Let's go, man. We got high remarks. We got Sneaksy. We got Alan. We got Richard in the chat. We got Buddy Bear. We got Jasmine. We got Billy. We got Jeffrey. We got Greg. We got Eugene. We got Cassie. Got JG.
Jeffrey's using the legal name. I like it.
Joey. Richard Barker. King Dua Lee. Gregory Pratt says, Buddy Bear, send in another 5. We got Fantastic Fun 21. I'm telling you, man, this guy's the mouth. That is, look at that thing. It's just, I mean, it's like.
It's a vacuum.
Yeah, you know how they say, like, when you're in a rhythm, you see the basket get bigger? Yes. I can literally see the basket get bigger with Joey the Mouth Peterson over here. Unbelievable stuff, man. All right, so we got about 30 seconds to keep the show alive. Okay, so if you guys want us to do another candy shot here, $20, or not $20, $5 super chat, and we'll shoot a Reese's Pieces into Joey the Mouth Peterson. Pause.
JG, was that Reese's Pieces you just stuck up your nose?
I did not stick anything up my nose.
Me neither.
I didn't do any of that. Fantastic Fun is asking what's going on with Brandon Ayuk. I mean, I just think that Ayuk is kind of, he didn't practice all of training camp, and, he only had 1 week of practice before the season opener against the Jets. And he just looks a bit rusty. And, I do think that's why training camp's important. That's why preseason is slightly important for these guys. And he just wasn't really in game shape, and that's what's going on. $5 super chat and another candy toss. Antoine Hoskins, I hope I'm saying that right, my friend, says, what do you think about Michael Thomas as a wide receiver in D.C.? Would you pick him up? Honestly, I think that Noah Brown is kind of like what you would want in Michael Thomas, right? They're bigger guys. They're good run blockers. Honestly, I think that Noah Brown is a better downfield target right now than Michael Thomas. Plus, Thomas is kind of known as kind of like a locker room cancer, Antoine. So I think that right now the Commanders are probably pretty good. If anything, I think they trade away a receiver like an Olamide Zaccheaus or a De'Ami Brown instead of adding a receiver. Any thoughts on that, Joey Peterson?
Yeah, I'm just building this social right now. I think Michael Thomas's time is done. If people still thought he could be a competitive and a wide receiver in this NFL or in this league that can contribute, he'd be on a team by now, but he's not.
Yeah, and obviously these teams, I think that, probably Mickey Loomis and, it's the Saints organization probably spread the word of, how he was behaving in that Saints building, and they probably didn't like that. So, Antoine, appreciate the $5 super chat, and you know what that means? It's Joey the Mouth Peterson time.
Uh-oh.
We've got the orange Reese's Pieces. By the way, if you guys have any candies that you would recommend for us to do with these candy tosses in the future, let us know. Skittles gummies, I think, would be a good one. Skittles
might hurt if it hits a tooth or something.
Skittles might hurt a little bit. Let us know if you guys got any candy suggestions. I'm sure there's going to be some ridiculous ones. Okay, let's get it going.
A sweet tart rope.
Sweet tart rope. Just throw that thing, man. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Oh, it's off the mouth!
It went in and out!
Oh, we missed.
No!
All right, Joey's going to go get the shots, and we'll take a shot to finish today's show.
Wow, it went in and out.
By the way, if you guys keep sending in the fives, we'll stay live. So I appreciate you guys. We're going to take a shot here. By the way, if we get up to 3 misses, Joey's got to do a beer bong. And if we get up to 5 misses, I got to do a boot. All right? So we're having some fun here to finish up today's Commanders Report live show. If you guys want us to do another candy toss, $5 donation. Appreciate your guys' support. If not, no big deal. We'll take these shots and say goodbye for the day. Just a reminder, we will be going live on Monday Night Football an hour before the game, hour of pregame. All right, Joey filled this bitch up. Oh, my gosh. Goodness gracious. Glenn Carter says, 7 misses, you both sing the DuckTales theme song. Deal.
What's the DuckTales theme song?
Well, you never watched DuckTales?
I
think he means Dragon Tales, doesn't he? I don't know if I watched DuckTales.
DuckTales might be like a current cartoon show.
Oh.
Let me look it up.
Because I grew up watching Dragon Tales.
Oh, no. DuckTales is old.
Oh.
Like 1987 with the...
1987?
With, not Daffy Duck, but Donald Duck.
Oh.
Like the cartoon, The Kids.
I got you. All right, guys. Because Joey missed it. Oh, man. He filled that up big time. All right, so unless a 5 comes in again here in the next 30 seconds, we're going to say goodbye for the day. But, I think that these candy toss things, man, they're pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So I think we're going to try it. I think we're going to do it on Monday night, see how many we can do.
Yeah.
And, we'll probably Probably have to up the misses price for the boot. Probably,
Yeah,
probably 10 misses for a boot, if we're being honest with you.
Hey, I'm sitting at a 75% success rate of what.
Yeah. We're 3 for 4 right now.
Practices.
Even with the practice one. So I think we're going to call it a day. I don't see another 5 coming in. So I appreciate every single one of you guys for stopping by today's show. We will be back on Monday. I think the game begins Monday Night Football begins at 7:30?
7:20, so we'll be live 6:20 Central.
So we'll be live 6:20 Central, 7:20 Eastern Time. Okay. Yep. So make sure you guys join us then. From me and Joey Peterson, we'll see you guys later. Until next time, raise some hail.